Hey guys, here's another bromance battle report. It's a Grail Quest practice game where we're going to be running some fun stuff here. You get it's 2,500 points, but you get up to 250 points of monsters from Storm of Magic or Monstrous Arcanum. So you'll see some interesting lists here. Here we go. All right, here's the Ogre list from memory. He's got Scrag. He's got which is a level 4 Great Maul. He has like a cauldron. He's got some cool stuff that happens when he starts killing people. He's got a Butcher with level 1 beast, and he has just basically a Hellheart Caddy. That thing is so nasty. He's got a BSB. I can't remember the equipment on him, but I know he's got a 4-up armor save and a 4-up ward. He's got 6 Iron Guts with a Dragonheart banner. That's going to be his character bunker. He's going to put all 3 characters in there. He's got 6 Ogre Bulls, 3 Mournfang with the Gleaming Pennant, 3 Man-Eaters, Iron Blaster, Stonehorn. His monster will be the Cockatrice from the Storm of Magic. It's kind of it's a flying monster. It's got basically 4s across the board, but it has a really cool shot with a strength 2 sniper shot with heroic killing blow that actually the target uses his initiative instead of his toughness. So it's a pretty fun little ability that can really make certain people nervous. It doesn't really bother me. I don't really have anything that he can heroic killing blow off the board, so it doesn't do much. But it's a fun model, and he actually remember this is a Swedish comp event, so he cleverly has put 2 of his saber tusks into Storm of Magic. Not only are they monstrous beasts, so they get a stomp, but they also get to be exempt from comp. So pretty fun little list. We'll see what happens. This is my list. It's pretty similar to the last time I played. I have a level 4 Spellweaver, Glade Captain on the Great Stag, level 2 Metal Singer. I have a couple units of Glade Guard. Their numbers may seem a little weird, but I'm trying to lower that comp. I believe I'm at a comp 13 or 12 or a 13, and there's a big difference between 13 and 14 Glade Guard. I have 8 Wild Riders, 5 and a unit of 5 Wild Riders. I'm going to try out the Sisters of the Thorn. I don't have any. I'll be proxying some Glade Riders for them, but I want to see how good they can do. I have 2 units of 6 Weight Watchers, Way Watchers. A Great Eagle. I'm taking a Brood Horror from the Monstrous Arcanum. It's kind of like a Hell Pit, but it doesn't have random movement. It does have impact hits. It just has 4 poisoned attacks. But most importantly, it has regen and stubborn. So it's a very, very reliable monster, and he hits pretty hard. So I'm a big fan of him. He's only 195 points, which allows me to take a Great Eagle and keep myself from getting hit with a second Great Eagle comp score. So that's how I'm able to get up to about a comp 13, is just kind of throwing that in there. But this is my list. This is a look at Wood Elf deployment on the left flank. As you can see, I have an Owl, some Way Watchers scouting up there a little bit ahead, some Wild Riders, some more Way Watchers, and those are going to be Sisters of the Thorn to the right there. This is the right side of Wood Elf deployment. I have some, in the forest, I have some Hagbane Glade Guard with a level 4 Death Weaver. Behind that is my BSB on a Great Stag. Those flying squirrels are actually Warhawk Riders. Behind the building are some True Flight Glade Guard, and that is a Great Eagle, and those are some Wild Riders on the flank. Also off screen are 10 more Glade Guard with a level 2 Metal Singer. This is the Ogre's left deployment. He actually left some space over there. On the bridge, you see an Iron Blaster. You have 6 Ogre Bulls, and behind that is a Cockatrice. Then the big large unit is a large unit of Iron Guts. He has his general in there, the level 4. I think his name is Scrag, and he has like a cauldron with him. He also has his BSB and a level 1 Butcher in that unit. So it's a giant unit. Next to that is the Stonehorn. This is the Ogre's right flank. As you can see, 3 unit of Mournfang. Sorry for the blurry photo. And then 3 Man-Eaters. They are, I believe, stubborn. They have pistols, and I think they have another rule. And then that's a sinister statue in front of them. Pay close attention to that, because that'll come into effect later in the game. Here's a shot of me after vanguarding. Like half my army vanguarded, so I just kind of wanted to get a quick shot of it before we started the game. I was very conservative in my vanguards. As you can see, the Warhawk Riders went forward a little bit. The Sisters went forward a little bit. I think I sent the Wild Riders right there below that red statue about 4 or 5 inches forward. Maybe I was very conservative because remember he's got really fast. He's got man eaters and he's got Mournfang who are like movement 7 or 8 swift strides. So these guys are really fast and he wants to get into combat really quick. So I pulled it back. I believe I'm about 20 inches out, about 19 or 20 inches away from those Mournfangs. So I feel like it's a pretty good vanguard. It was not. This is the end of Ogre's turn 1. He was 19 inches out and he rolled 12 on his charge, making a 19-inch charge easily. And he just murders those Wild Riders. And that's a very bad start to this game. When he goes the overrun, he's very close to the Way Watchers, and they but when he goes to we weren't really sure how to play this. When he went to overrun, I assume I get to contract as skirmishers. So when I did that, that prevented him from running into them, and that was kind of our agreement. We're not really sure how to work that, but regardless, he gets right in front of those Way Watchers right there, and he's already in my backfield. So this is a problem. This is the right side. Not a whole lot going on. I think I fail. He moves the cockatrice forward, trying to kind of harass me. And then the Wild Riders on the right, he actually decides to shoot them with the cannon. I don't really have a whole lot of good cannon shots. My Brood Horror is off screen, but the Brood Horror has Regenerate. But those Wild Riders, I think he shoots a cannon into them and kills 2. It was a pretty sneaky idea. Alright, this is the bottom of Wood Elf turn 1 over here on the left side. As you can see, I get out of his way. I get out of his line of sight and put that eagle in front of those Mournfang to help trying to redirect it off. I then just line up and just take a ton of shots. You can see in the bottom right hand corner, that's my unit of Glade Guard with my level 2 Metal Weaver. I get Searing Doom off on the Mournfang for 2 wounds, and I get Soul Blight on the unit, making them toughness 3. So all those Weight Watchers just open up, and I managed to do 5 wounds to those Mournfang. He doesn't panic, but I do. I really whittle that unit down. So he's getting a little nervous about it. Here's a picture of some of my just some of the damage I got through with shooting. I cut that that smaller unit of Ogre Bulls in half. I actually do 4 wounds to the Stonehorn with poison shots. However, I've managed to fail 2 charges. I failed the Warhawk Rider charge, and I failed the Wild Rider charge. So he makes like a 20-inch charge, and I can't make 15-inch charges with Flyers and Swift Striders. So game's not looking too good from the get-go. Alright, here's the end of Ogre turn 2, and as you can see, Wood Elves made another movement mistake. I had fanned out those Way Watchers behind those Mournfang last turn to, get some really close range shots and try to keep them out of trouble. Well, he goes and makes an 18-inch charge with those those 3 Man Eaters and just murders those Way Watchers. And then he charges that Eagle, kills it, reforms, and now he is ready to munch on some very soft and vulnerable Way Watchers. Alright, this is a Wood Elf turn 2. As you can see, the Mournfang are no longer on the board. I light them up with the last remaining Way Watcher unit and actually panic them off the board, despite them having the Gleaming Pennant. So finally, Wood Elves have some luck. I also use the little unit of 10 Glade Guard to whittle those Man Eaters down. I think I put like 4 or 5 wounds on them. So. I also throw the Brood Horror into combat with the big unit, hoping to tie them up. Remember the Brood Horror is stubborn and has Regenerate and Impact hits and Poison. He's pretty stout, so I think he can probably hold them up. Additionally, I charged his severely weakened Stonehorn with my BSB on a stag. Now he only has 2 wounds left. He is T6, but on the charge, both me and my stag are strength 5. So I was just really hoping for 2 5s on the wound, and I got them. And then I was able to overrun into the flank of that unit to kind of help out that Brood Horror. And I failed to mention this earlier, but that Sinister Statue had just been constantly lighting him up. It's been zapping his Stonehorn. Hilariously, of course, it didn't get any wounds through. Well, here it decides to zap my when I kill the Stonehorn, it decides to zap my Sisters of the Thorn and kills 2 of them, I believe. Alright, this is his turn. Real quick, off screen, you remember the man-eaters were pressing in on my little unit, my small unit of Blade Guard. He actually, he charges and I stand and shoot and wipe them out. So, yay, that's good. I have absolute control of the left flank. However, in combat, he beats up my, he kills my Brood Horror off, wins combat, and then my freaking, BSB on the Great Stag blows his rerollable 8 leadership check and breaks and of course automatically dies as he's a BSB. That's one disadvantage of having my BSB on the Great Stag. Furthermore, earlier he actually activated the Hellheart and hit both my wizards. He needed a 5 to hit both of them. Of course, rolls a 5 and my most hated item hits me. It doesn't really do much to my level 4. I think it just maybe does a wound, which I save, but it actually power drains my level 2 down to 0. So I'm done with metal magic for this game. Alright, this is back to the Wood Elf turn, and this is whenever I kind of retaliate. Whenever he killed my BSB, he actually reformed with his flank facing me, facing my Deathweaver, and I asked him why I did this later, but he actually said he forgot that I had Purple Sun, so I just opened up with a Purple Sun. It went down the flank of his big Ogre Death Star and just killed a ton of them, generated me a ton of dice. Most of his, I believe his characters actually lived. I think I killed his BSB, but his Butcher and Scrag lived. So I just mowed them down. It generated some power dice, which I used to cast Doom and Darkness, and so that's the card that's stuck on them right now. And then they of course panic. I may have actually cast Doom and Darkness first, but they panic on Leadership 6, and they begin fleeing right for that little template is actually the Purple Sun, so they're in a really bad spot. And I don't think I've mentioned this, but his Saber Tusks are actually ambushing. He took Storm of Magic Saber Tusks, and they have failed to board. I believe this is like turn 4, and they've still failed to show up yet. So they are providing him no hope. They're actually quite useful versus Wood Elves because they can get into some Glade Guard in the backfield, but he cannot roll a 3 up to save his life. Over on the right side, I charge his Cockatrice with a couple of units, and I kind of ping-pong him around and catch him and wipe him out, so the Cockatrice goes down without a fight. And the Wild Riders charge into the Iron Blaster, who's been just kind of picking off a couple of Wild Riders every turn. I actually do really bad in combat, but I do manage to win just barely, and you know the Iron Blaster's only Leadership 7, so he breaks and I run him down. Alright, this is his turn, and of course, without a BSB and with Doom and Darkness on him, he fails to rally and flees right into that Purple Sun, bounces through it, and it kills off the last 2 people in the unit. Somehow Scrag survives, and so does his Butcher. So they can rally this turn on the next turn, but I don't think he's going to have a next turn. Some good news, his Saber Tusks actually managed to show up. I believe this is the top of turn 5 at this point. So he figures he's going to go and try to nab that little level 2 wizard bunker. And as a further testament to his bad luck this game, he goes into my Venom Thicket, for some soft cover, and he actually fails his dangerous terrain test and takes a wound. So this game is just completely turned on him. And this is the final picture. I wanted to take it real quick. I got Doom and Darkness back on him again, and I charged with my my Warhawk Riders who were in range, and he flees off the board. So that was, other than his Saber Tusk, it's his last remaining unit. All right, it ends up being complete tabling. Final score is 2,600 to 1,048. Wood Elf win. Final thoughts. My opponent started out with some good luck, but the luck just completely abandoned him. I got some critical spells off. He was a really good sport about it, especially when the Purple Sun hit him and panicked him, and then he fled through the Purple Sun and eventually off the board. So those are things that you just can't account for, and he was a good sport. A couple things I learned. Don't Vanguard just because you can. I had no reason to put those Wild Riders on the left flank forward. All I did was put them within charge range of the Mornfang, who annihilated them next turn. One of my hardest hitting units was killed at the top of turn 1. So that was my own fault. Also, but you have to give kudos to my opponent. He, several times during the game, he attempted long, risky charges. And it ended up paying off for him, well, at least for that turn. So, don't be afraid to make long charges if you can, especially for ogres who really, really want to get into combat. He ended up taking off 2 of my most elite units because he made attempted long charges. But anyway, my opponent's fun because he does things like that, and he can really throw people off their game. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.